Hi friends, I welcome you all for the channel of your UPSC friend. Today in our pre-bits, let's see regarding the national income accounting. Especially today regarding the GDP and GNP. First, let's see what is national income. Everybody will have some sort of income, that is, it may be in the monetary terms or in the non-monetary terms. In the same way, country will also have the income that we call it as national income. The total money value of all goods and services produced in the financial year is termed as national income. Usually, the national income should be always in the increasing trend from year to year. It shows that there is a growth in the economy and also growth in the production of firms. If the production of firms increases, the employment also increases. This thing that is increase in the employment leads to the increase in the individual income, which in turn increases the standard of living of the people. Important measurements of national income are GDP, GNP, NDP and NNP. Today, let's see regarding the GDP and GNP. Now, let's see regarding the GDP, that is Gross Domestic Product. It is the money value of all final goods and services produced in the domestic territory of a country in a financial year. Here the important points to note are regarding the final goods and services, that is money value of final goods and services, domestic territory and the financial year. Usually goods and services can be divided into two, that is the final goods and services and the intermediate goods and services. Final goods and services are the goods and services which are consumed once you purchased and you consumed it. Example, if you get a packet of milk from the shop and you will prepare a tea in your home and you will consume it, that is the final product. But if a hotel person purchase a packet of the same milk and he use that for preparing the milk in the hotel and he generate the economy from it, that the same packet of milk for a household person it is the final good and for a hotel person it is the intermediate goods. Now only the final goods are added in the GDP, not the intermediate goods, because it accounts for the double counting. Now let's see regarding the term domestic territory. Usually political boundary of the country is termed as the domestic territory, no doubt in that. But domestic territory also includes embassies, consulates, military establishments in abroad and also ships and aircrafts owned by the residents of the country. Now let's see regarding the financial year. In India, the financial period is from the 1st April to 31st March and it is again divided into 4 quarters. That is, in the quarter 1, it is from 1st April to 30th Jan. In the second quarter, it is from 1st July to 30th September. And in the third quarter, it is from 1st October to 31st December. And in the fourth quarter, it is from 1st Jan to 1st March. So, GDP is the total money value of all final goods and services produced in the domestic territory of a country in the financial year. And also we understood the terms regarding the goods and services and also regarding the final and intermediate goods and also domestic territory. That is, domestic territory is not only the political boundary of the country but also embassies, consulates, military and establishments of the country in abroad and also ships and aircrafts of the owned by residents. Now let's see regarding the GNP, that is gross national product. GNP is the money value of final goods and services produced by the normal residents, that is nationals of a country during a financial year. GDP, the main important difference between the GDP and GNP is the GDP counts the products of final goods and services produced within the domestic territory, but in the GNP it is concerned about who is producing, that is the goods and services, that is the final goods and services produced by the normal residents, that is the nationals. In India, in the perspective of India, it is the Indians. So now let's derive the GNP from GDP. GDP, that is the gross domestic product plus net factor income from abroad. This net factor income from abroad means the income earned by Indian from abroad minus income earned by the foreigner from India. Assume that a person A is working in America and he is earning some amount of income. The person B, who is a foreigner, is working or he has a establishment in India and he is earning some income. In the net factor income, here we minus, that is we detect the what person B is earning in India, who is a foreigner, from the what person A is earning, who is an Indian but who is earning from abroad. That accounts for the net factor income. To obtain GNP, that is gross national product, we add GDP plus net factor income from abroad. Now let's also see one more topic, that is factor income. Factor income is mainly based on the inputs. Inputs are divided into factor input and non-factor inputs. Non-factor inputs are usually the raw materials, but the factor inputs consists of land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. From the land we get the rent, from the labor it is the wages, and from capital it is interest, and from entrepreneurship it is the profit. This is regarding the factor income. Usually in case of India, the GDP is always greater than GNP. That is because the income earned by foreigners from India is more than the income earned by Indians from abroad. This is regarding the GDP and GNP. In the next videos, let's see regarding the NDP and NNP. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.